you all please rise for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to welcome everybody to the regular meeting of April 2025. Thank you all for being here. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Certainly. Ellis.
Yes, here.
Farnham.
Here.
Lawton.
Here.
Luddington. Patrick.
Here.
Bruner.
Here.
And Boyd.
Here. Next, we have the minutes for the March 12th public hearing and the March 12th regular meeting minutes to approve and accept. You've had those minutes before you for a couple of days. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to accept and approve those minutes. Yes, Russ moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are accepted and approved. Next, we have claims against the county. You've had those claims before you. Are there any clarifications or questions? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to approve the claims. Russ moves. Dan seconds. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Claims are approved. County board member claims, you had those before you for several days. Are there any questions or clarifications on those? Hearing none, I'd accept a motion to approve the claims. Russ moves. Candy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. They are approved. Next, we come to the part of the meeting for public comment. We have a rostrum up there, so we ask that you identify yourself and keep your comments at 5 minutes. Is there anybody who wishes to address the board this morning for public comments? Hearing none, we'll go to the highway resolutions. Resolution of support to apply for FY27 Highway Safety Improvement Program funding for the Lower Terre Haute Road upper portion. We discussed that on Monday morning. Are there any further comments or questions? Mr. Engineer, would you like to say anything about it?
Not unless you guys want to hear it all again.
So,
Safety, it's, we're going after $1 million over the last 2 miles of the talked about it. You guys have requested it for a long time, so when the solicitation comes out in the spring, once the board's approval to see.
what's your pleasure? We have a resolution. Does somebody want to make a motion to approve? Carl moves. Andy seconds. Further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
It is approved. Next, resolution authorizing the county board chairman to sign an agreement with Hampton, Lazzini, and Renwick, Inc., LLC for the Lower Terre Haute Road upper portion HSIP application and related work. Again, we have discussed that. Is there a motion to approve? Carl moves. Andy seconds.
Yeah.
Further? Yes.
I would like to comment on that.
Please.
This is the same group that, got you the safety money back in 2009 and 10 with the roadside safety audit, so we'll dovetail off of their work from 16 years ago.
Okay. Mr. Clerk, I assume we're ready. Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnham.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruner.
Yes.
Okay, that resolution is approved. Next, resolution authorizing county board chairman to sign an agreement with Hampton, Lozini, and Renwick, Inc. for the bridge condition study reports on structures 02-3206 and 23-3208. Any clarification needed on
That's
this?
your Clinton Road Bridge, if you remember the Clinton Road Bridge and Orchard Hope Road Bridge that we're wanting to do preservation on, to try to, push back, complete replacements.
Motion, Carl moves, Andy seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruno.
It does carry. Resolution authorizing chairman to sign supplemental BLR 05530 with civilian design and Swango Bridge, Preston Road. Section 32-141-28-00BR. Clarifications?
That's to complete the work that you guys approved a couple years ago to get them started to do the phase zero, that we can get it ready to take two levee down in Sims Township on the Preston Road. Been working on it for a couple of years. This is an amendment or an addition to the contract to get it ready to go two levee.
Any further questions? Motion? Dan moves. Andy seconds. Any further discussion? Mr. Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton. Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruno.
Yes.
That does carry. Is there anything else under highway that we need to discuss this morning? Okay. Next, authorize chairman to sign, send letter of support to the city of Paris to extend the Jasper Street TIF district for an additional 12 years. We've done our due diligence on that. Want to remind the board that the TIF money from that particular issue has helped us with projects, and will, especially like the courthouse, paying better than half of the courthouse renovation for the tower in 2009, 2010. And, you know, they're amenable to using that funds to help us in the future. So could I have a motion to approve that letter of support? Yes, Russ moves. Andy seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Ellis.
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruno.
And that does carry, thank you. Next, we have authorized chairman to execute landlord termination notice of lease for fixed asset. That means current sheriff's department tower. We're going through the state's attorney has helped us with that, and we need to send out a letter of, so that we can start working on that project. Carl moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. We have had in front of us the Public Health Department of Fiscal Procedure, and I think the majority, will you speak to that since we don't have Kim here?
Yeah, Kim wasn't able to be here because she was going to a medical billing training, which was, of course, really important. So, on page 14, the only change that we had recommended to the county board from the health board was board approval is required for all fixed asset acquisitions over $5,000. In the past, it was $3,500. But Kim had found out through the course of all the repairs she's had to make here recently that $3,500 was a bit low as a threshold, so we had agreed that $5,000 was more appropriate with today's prices.
That was it pretty much, wasn't it?
Yes, that was it.
Can I have a motion to approve, oh, well, is there further discussion or clarification? Yes. Are you making a motion to approve, Dan? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Do I have a second? Andy, seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Next, a resolution for Joseph E. Meyer, county tax agent, authorizing the chairman to execute a deed of conveyance for the said parcel there, which is 409 East Monroe, Paris, and a Tavon Waddell. So they're purchasing that off of our tax agent, so. Carl moves. Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Excuse me, we need a roll call on the
Oh, I'm
resolution.
sorry, that is a resolution. Thank you,
Excuse me, are you ready?
Mr. Clerk. Go ahead.
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
and Bruno.
Yes.
Okay, next we have approval of a mutual aid agreement with the Illinois Coroners and Medical Examiner Association. That's the one that conducts. Did I forget something?
No.
Okay. Wouldn't put it past me, so. Anyway, this is an agreement we enter into for autopsies and so forth, and assistance when the coroner needs it. So can I have a motion to approve this? Carl moves. Russ seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. All right. Next, item 14, approve bond for Mark Baxter, Commissioner, Brockton Drainage District East and West ditches. It's easy for me to say. Is there a motion to approve Mark for this? Yeah, Russ and Dan, seconded. Do I need a roll on this?
Sure, let's do that.
Okay.
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton,
Yes.
Patrick,
Yes.
and Bruno.
Yes.
Okay, Mark is approved. Next, a resolution appointing John Brinkerhoff, Drainage Commissioner of Drainage District Number 9, the town of Embarrass, County of Edgar, State of Illinois. Motion or discussion or motion? Russ moves. Carl seconds. Mr. Clerk?
Ellis,
Yes.
Farnum.
Yes.
Lawton.
Yes.
Patrick.
Yes.
And Bruno.
Yes.
Okay, they're both approved. The next 16, 17, and 18 will be included in the special meeting. I'll explain in a second. Special meeting when we get together before, we're gonna have a special meeting before a study session on the 21st. Randall Wood and Jeff Keys resigned from that board, effective, what was that, Monday night?
Yes,
Yes.
7.
So we're just, we're waiting for the fire district to come back with some recommendations. Lisa and I were both there at the meeting. We were a little surprised. Do you want to give them your take on it, or do you have anything you want to say?
No, I don't.
I don't either. Anyway, we were a little surprised, but they were happy that we were there, and we were, everybody was shocked by the letters of resignation. And so we were able to have a brief discussion with them and tell them what they needed to do. Kay will be the only one left on the board. There's a 3-person board. So there was a lot of people there. What was there, 30?
Probably. They also had continuing ed with Carl set up for that night for EMTs. So 4 from the Northern Ambulance Service were there.
Yep. So it all turned out all right. It was just a little shocking. So had no idea. At any rate, also, we need to discuss, while we're just kind of going out of order here. Well, it's really not on the agenda, but at some point we need to discuss the fire district and expanding the trustees from 3 to 5. I think that's what several of the board members would like to do, and we need to, we can do that for them, and we just need to have some discussions with them. Don't let me forget, Ben and Ingram Scotty have both mentioned that, so we need to help them out on that, and that's fine. Okay, next, resolution on acceptance of oath office oath and bond for Linda I'm sorry, that one's done too. Next, we need to appoint Dale English, Greg Henry, and Tim Hansel to the Farmland Committee for Dina and her deal on farmland evaluations. Carl moves. Russ seconds. Any discussion of those folks? They've been on the board for a couple of years. Hansel joined here, about a year or two ago, so,
Dale's been on there a good while.
yeah,
And
Dale
Greg a few years.
and Greg, yeah, Greg and Dale came on together. So, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. Okay, department heads, do you want to explain this, Josh?
Sure. That little loose paper with the seal on it, then Klinger redesigned the existing one was not scalable. If you made it larger, smaller, distorted, so they pretty much took the old design and modernized enough to make it where it's scalable, so you can make it larger or smaller. They were talking about there's gonna be like that symbol, I believe, on like the door and the sign and stuff at the new jail. So they were just wanting comments to see if that would work. It's real similar to the other one. So, and then it could, like I said, it could be used on the website, whatever else, you can scale it whatever size you needed. So,
What was changed?
not much. It was, the other one looked about the same. I think the only biggest difference is I think it used to maybe be a little black square for Edgar County maybe.
Okay.
Outside of that, I think it's pretty similar, but you couldn't change the other. If you made it bigger or smaller, it just distorted the heck out of it. So they redigitized it and created it by hand, a new one. And just wanted approval if that was gonna be okay, because they need to start ordering some of that stuff. too
It's
for-
digital,
It's digital, yeah.
yeah.
So if there's anything you guys wanna change or different or something, is they're asking for comments before they
Okay.
start ordering stickers or signs or something with that seal on there.
Thank you, Josh. Augie?
I don't have really anything new since Monday, just waiting for any mail-in ballots to arrive. And the last day to do that would be next Tuesday, the 15th. And once we see what comes in after that date, then we have 7 days to officially canvass the votes and look everything over and then close it out. So I'm looking forward to that. Questions? Okay.
Thank you. Angie?
I really don't have anything today.
Aaron?
Vermillion, our pavement preservation that we talked a lot about, that's gone back and forth. We are gonna go ahead and in '25 do another test section on the Vermillion Road from 150 into Vermillion. So if you see some work out there, that's another test section for pavement preservation that we're working diligently to get federal reimbursement for, or federal funding for. And then we'll continue to, those are the old roads that we JT'd, and then the Clinton Road, there'll be some shoulders put on there. We did put some concrete gutter in there. We're working with the city to put the fence at the sewer plant to get the rest of that done. So that's recent, and I think we're out there today removing reflectors, so next test section for the pavement preservation will be Vermillion Road, and we started work on it today.
And that will be at 1.5 inches?
No, that's just gonna be the seal coating, so it'll get a.
Oh, just the seal
Yeah,
coat.
like we did on Clinton Road last year, we did 2 little pieces on Clinton Road. Carl's been watching it pretty close and he's fairly pleased with it. We started late last year, put the oil and shut down too late, so a lot of it didn't set good. So he'll get to stare at the Vermillion Road for, after this is done for a year or two. Help people make a decision on whether or not we're gonna go forward in that manner.
Why are we taking those reflectors out?
Because we'll seal it, we don't wanna tape them and create holes.
So and then after you seal it, you put them back?
We're still looking at
Okay.
modifications to the comprehensive
Okay.
county-wide striping and raised reflective pavement marker reinstallation, so
Okay.
not positive yet whether Vermillion Road's gonna make that cut,
Okay.
unless there's influence on that,
I just saw them this morning taking them out and
Okay, so you-
putting patching.
so, yeah.
Just wondered.
Kettner will be here between Memorial Day and Independence Day and seal it, and then we'll have Varsity come when they have time to stripe it, and
Okay.
again, we're still in discussion amongst ourselves about whether or not the raised reflective pavement markers came with the safety grant. It was a comprehensive county-wide blanket raised reflective pavement markers, like all over all the routes.
Right.
So now as we come back and piecemeal this back, they're pretty expensive to do in a piecemeal manner, so we have to wait and do it as a comprehensive effort.
Anything else for Aaron? Taylor?
Josh wants to comment, I think.
Josh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, go ahead.
Tuesday, about, what, 7 o'clock, for the rest of the day, the Shiloh Road's gonna be closed from Horace Brockton for about 2 miles south for shoulders. They're doing some shoulders and ditch repairing and repairing out there, so they're gonna be out there milling and doing.
So it'll be down to
Put new shoulders in.
one lane?
No, it'll be closed,
For how long?
that day.
That day is one day.
Just that day. They're gonna close in the morning about 7 o'clock, between 7 and 8 o'clock, and then it should be open by the end of the day. Weather dependent. Right now, the weather's not looking too bad for Tuesday. So,
Pass that along to your Shiloh School folks or whoever.
and then there'll be a press release going out later today. I'll send the emergency services and everybody. So,
Thank you.
Yeah, and the shoulders on both sides of the road is wide. We'll have open holes on both sides of the road, so it's too ornery to try to get people through it. It could go real fast too, but we're just telling the public, find a different way on Tuesday. I'd actually go real fast, to be honest,
they should, by having it closed, yeah.
but we're just, abundance of caution, 7 to 5 or whatever.
And Taylor, you ought to note that so the dispatchers know it.
They'll get an email, a press release for it, so.
Morning, Taylor. Do you have anything?
I don't.
Samantha?
And the only update since Monday is yesterday IDPH was down for most of the morning. And after some fun with the surveyor, who was a little stinker, we did pass all 5 ambulances are relicensed as soon as I log in and pay the state fee. For one more year.
Okay. Any questions of Samantha? Philip?
Nothing to report.
Jacob?
Just brought some stats for you guys for March and the stuff we've done.
Okay.
I don't think I have enough for all of you, but you're welcome to have it.
And I'll look at it and give it to Augie.
Sure.
We can share.
Huh?
I don't see one of these. You don't have deer hits by police cars.
Well, you know, and I was actually gonna talk to you guys about that at some point, and after you look at this, it's not necessarily easy for me to get all the stats, but if there's something on here that you guys are interested in having, I'll do my best to get it on here. So, you
I
see
was
the
being
categories.
facetious.
Well, I know that, but it does strike me as something I was gonna say at some point after we spoke, but if there's any stats you do want on here that I haven't put, let me know and I'll try to add it.
Carl?
Jail population,
Jail population,
average.
I can do that.
Last month it was 18.
I know every time we get with you, you update us on that, and so I appreciate that.
It went, I mean, it was up last month and hopefully it gradually continues to go up, but we'll see how that goes.
The
I
inmates
knew
don't
it.
like you because you're not being nice enough, they're gonna go somewhere else.
They wouldn't be.
You need to look at the guy at the end of your, see
I
if he
said
can get it cranked up.
I said it loud enough for him to hear, hopefully he caught my drift.
But, but you know, back when that, no cash bail was, I mean, there wasn't very many in there, but gradually, I think it's been going up.
Yeah, slowly, we've got up and then come back down and then gone up, and I mean, it's kind of roller coaster.
Right.
But we've, like I said, last month was probably one of the more steady, and a little higher number than it has been compared to before the bill was taken away. I mean, other than that, they just come and go.
Right.
You know, it's a rotating door, they come in, they leave, and come in, they leave.
I mean, obviously, on the weekend, it's probably gonna spike up some.
And that's usually when it happens.
And then normally they go to court maybe Monday, and Monday maybe they get released,
Yeah.
depending on circumstances.
And that's usually Saturday, or actually this week it was Sunday night, they were the busiest of the week over there.
Mhm.
But it's usually Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. And I don't know if they're out searching for warrants or, you know, a lot of these guys are warrants, those are picking up.
Really?
There's plenty of them out there to be picked up.
Just, they would stumble across because they're out on the weekend and partying or whatever, and they just
I
run
don't know
across
if
it.
they, well, it's warming up, so people are coming outside, maybe that's
Mhm.
part of it. Or they're just going to people's houses and knocking on doors.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know how they find some of these people, but they find them and
no, that's good.
bring them in, and we deal with them for a little bit and send them on their way.
Mhm.
Well, and also the courts put out a lot of notice to appear warrants. So they'll just show up and we'll book them in, fingerprint them, and right back out the door they go. They don't stay at all.
Right.
We just book them in and send them on their way to give them a court date,
Mhm.
which
For 'em not to appear again.
is usually how it works. That's usually how it
Yep.
works.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Not busted.
Board reports? Dan?
Meeting yesterday with Pandry. Shelter's full, 52 animals, which is a lot more than she normally has. 11 of them, I think, are puppies. Every shelter in Illinois is full, so we're not the only one. We are getting 10 new cameras out there. We did have some problems with people coming in and taking out some animals, so we appreciate that, and that may help a little bit. Especially with the new ESDA building, I think she needs some cameras in that building too. So I think somebody suggested put one up in a tree or high so you can see when cars come in and out of the road, which makes good sense. So
That's
we'll do
what
that.
Jacob suggested to us.
Pardon?
Jacob.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Continue to work on the ESDA building. She's been getting it all painted. Some of the flooring's coming up, so she's getting that worked on. She's getting ready to move her office over to the ESDA building, and so that's in the near future. So really a nice facility, and it's gonna make a big difference out there. And I'm really pleased that there have been no animals put down this year, which is unusual. 0 have been euthanized, which is great. Other than that, everything's going well.
Thank
She's still going on vacation next week for a while, but I think she actually needs one, so, but she'll get that worked out. So other than that, everything's fine.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Andy?
Ray Cordy texted me Monday and he's back to work.
Yep. He was out helping Andrea, I think.
Okay, good. He wanted to know, and I'm not aware, or maybe Augie, you know, are they done digging in the courthouse lawn? They were putting that internet thing in, weren't they? Is that what they, going under the?
Yesterday, or-
Yeah, about a month ago, they were out there.
Yeah, they're over
digging.
there.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them or heard of them, so.
So I got in touch with the sheriff, and he said he wasn't aware, but they were back of the jail, like first of the week or something.
Yeah, they were there.
Yeah.
And I said, go out and ask them if they're done dig. I think Ray probably wants to pull up the flags and mow or something, but anyway, he wanted to know if they were done digging on the courthouse lawn. But other than that, nothing else.
There's a pipe on the west side, between the new, the circle sidewalk and the out, that we're gonna have to do something about.
Yeah.
It
The
looks-
drainage pipe,
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a white drainage pipe.
yeah.
Not sure what exactly we can do, but maybe when we ask Dirt Poor or whoever, maybe they'll have an idea where they can, improve that, still make it mowable and not have an issue
Yeah,
there.
Some kind of a flat grate.
yeah, we took, I remember talking to Jason.
And a screen on it, well, you gotta be careful about that, but we don't want any critters running up in there
Yeah.
either. So-
Yeah, I should've came up here this weekend with all that rain to see how much of
The
a,
lake over in the.
whether the lake and how
It
it
looked
was
like
doing
it.
out there on the drain.
draining good.
It looked like it drained pretty good.
Really. Good.
So, well, at any rate. Russ, do you have anything?
It went away. I don't have anything.
Okay. Have we heard anything from, sorry, when, review with me, the end of the month, they're gonna get out there to work on the tower?
Well, they want me to depending on weather, but yeah, the plan was, they thought they'd be out there doing something before the end of April.
Okay.
But we've had a lot of bad weather, so I don't know if that's gonna do anything.
And
else
have
or
we
not.
done checking like we were gonna do so that we sized the generator out there?
I haven't heard back from, have you heard from that guy from Next, I can't remember, not Nextel, but Nextlink. He was checking with his people last I knew on generator and, what they would need for engineering. And I had not heard back, I'll send him an email just to see if he's heard back anything yet.
If they want back it, they're gonna have to supply it themselves.
They talked
Yeah,
about it.
well, but I just wanted to check.
We just gotta make sure our generator is enough to handle our stuff.
Right.
Currently it is.
Yeah,
Okay, I just
yeah.
didn't want something falling through the cracks.
I had a conversation with Taylor earlier this week to let her know what was going on out there, that by the end of April, all the antennas, they were putting up new antennas and moving up to our license.
You're gonna be about 475, maybe 490. It was up there pretty good. So, we'll be interested in seeing how, when they do, have they done any of the testing, Taylor, that they were gonna do on the towers?
They were doing
Simon,
coverage studies.
I'm hoping Barry will be at our meeting on Monday so we can,
Yeah, he was supposed to come last Monday, but
and then.
they've done a report to see by the increase in the height, you know, if it gets better coverage. Because, you know, we have problems across the south end of the county.
and were you here for the discussions with that one, what's his name, that, with the internet, or, I'm sorry, we met with him at lunch?
Craig?
Greg, they are gonna be putting up towers, here and there. So it might be that we could reach an agreement rather than, you know, if they include that in the study, it may be advantageous to us to reach an agreement so we have a spread, and maybe we can avoid spending $250,000 on
Yeah.
simulcast.
Yeah, cause they were talking about putting up, I mean, they were gonna do coverages, studies with extra towers up and where they would be placed.
I just wanna make sure we weren't missing the boat on something.
Hopefully we find out something Monday. I'll call Brad today and make sure that someone's coming.
Yeah, we don't wanna be spending a bunch of money while somebody else is spending a bunch of money, when if we can reach some kind of a mutual agreement that's beneficial to both parties, and that way save the taxpayers some money. Yes,
So
Carl?
you're talking about, I don't know what their company's called, Nextlink, they're putting up some, they're talking about it, or they are going to do it?
Right now, they're talking about it pretty
Okay.
seriously.
They are gonna put some, no matter what, up in Indiana, right across the
Yeah.
line. Now, whether, depending on whether they get the contracts and everything,
Okay,
they would be putting up in order to execute their plan.
Right, and the bid for, the BEAD bid for them is coming up pretty soon, I think it's June. And next month, we'll be discussing a letter of support or resolution for them. I just didn't get it done for this month.
because I think when when they were doing that study, they were possibly gonna be using the tower at Elbridge, the old Midwestern gas tower,
Right.
which, you know, is right by, near the state line, so depending on where those towers go up, you know, that might
I just
help
think
the southern part of the county.
we just gotta be thinking about that
Right.
all the time.
Right.
And that may help solve some of our issues. I don't think they're ever gonna be totally solved,
No.
but we can help you a bunch, we hope. Okay? And we'll keep you right in the loop so you know what's going on. So if you have ideas that, okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Carl?
Nothing.
Lisa,
I went to the initial MedCore meeting of Health Department yesterday, and that's the name of what it's called nationally, although it's not medical, so it's misleading. Basically, trying to come up with a structure of volunteers to do things that are not medical, to support cases of emergencies or crises. And afterwards, I said, so where's ESDA and the current status that's already well in place? How's this all work together? And she'd said, so I was talking to Kim about it afterwards, because she was in charge of it when she worked in Douglas County, and she said the medical corps was very robust there, and they worked hand in hand. So I don't know whether Connor Dotson's talked to you guys about that at all, but I know he attends your meetings. So I volunteered. Of course, somebody would have to send me a text, because if something's going on down here, I would have no idea. So, but that was the initial meeting, and it was well attended. There were probably 15 or 20 people there that were not health department members or employees. The health department got a new sign for the front of their building. They were able to refurbish the framework, so the cover of it is new and it looks very much improved, much more professional. So the building looks good inside and out. Kim spent a lot of time and money, and it's to the point where it shows. You know, they've done so much that doesn't show that, and now it's looking good. It looks professional, super clean, very tidy. So that's all I have.
Is the MedCore different than what's that new thing that ESDA's doing? This volunteer thing, health clinic or something?
Yes, two separate things. The Medical Reserve Corps is being started by the Edgar County Public Health Department. Connor Dotson, Emergency Preparedness Director for the Health Department, is getting a group of volunteers that it's what I kind of term the Red Cross of Edgar County. So when there's any type of event that, when we had the derecho a couple of years ago, and we needed some staff to staff out at the fire training center for the people that had no power but were on oxygen. The health department stood that up. This would be a job of the Medical Reserve Corps. So Connor's looking for volunteers to be in a pool, so that anytime that there's an emergency activation through ESDA, through whatever, he can stand up a Medical Reserve Corps. ESDA is helping coordinate what Longview Bank is bringing in, which is the RAM Clinic. The RAM Clinic is a free medical care clinic that is put on all throughout the nation for indigent care. And so whatever volunteers that they have, that's the type of care that will be offered at that clinic. So if they have an optometrist, there will be eye exams being done in glasses. If they have a dentist, there will be dental extractions. If they have dermatology, there will be, skin removals, things like that taking place. They anticipate, the last I heard, we still have our ESDA meeting coming up, they anticipate close to 2,000 people that follow this RAM clinic around, because once they've been in the clinic, they're quote unquote scheduled to go to the next location and get follow-up. So we've heard that people camp out for a day or two ahead of time to make sure that they're in line to get treated. So ESDA is planning for the influx of people.
So people from outside the county?
Correct. And Terre Haute has already set their RAM clinic for July. So ours is in June, Terre Haute's is in July. So there may be like some Indiana people coming over in June to get started, because they know that they'll be there in July.
Okay.
And that is located at the high school, on the campus of the high school, June 28th and 29th. is when that RAM clinic will be running.
Art, Parasite.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Is there any need for a closed session today? We do have meetings coming up just to review. We have a negotiation session with the unions, or union on Friday at 11 o'clock
It's at
out
10.
at the highway office.
It's at 10. I do believe.
I'll double check.
It was 11 at first, and then I think Rick moved it to 10. I just
Okay.
want to make sure.
All right.
10 in the morning, but it's Friday, but at 10 a.m.
Yes, sir.
It's either 10 or 11.
Okay. Well, I know the other day you said 11, that's why I wrote it.
That's,
down.
I think,
We
we
need to-
talked to Rick, and he, in order to, we'll just figure, it's 10 or 11, and then we'll let you know.
Yes, sir.
And then next Thursday, we do have a core meeting, okay, at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Say that again.
Core,
Oh, next
Thursday. I don't know of any other, I'm sure there's little meetings here and there, but I don't know of anything else other than those two right now. Okay? Look over your board status report on the budget. And you have a copy of the cash flow, so we're good. I need to talk to Andrea, Dan, I need to talk to Andrea about the pet population fund. We haven't pulled any money out of that, but she keeps pulling money out and we're in the negative. She has another fund.
Yeah, quite a bit in donations, gonna use some of that for the stuff out at the ASDA building.
I just wanna make sure she has the information
Yeah.
so that
Right.
you're aware. So at any rate, so we're moving on. Don's doing okay. So we'll see what's going on there. Yes,
Need to make contact with the insurance company again to talk about
yeah,
issues,
coming up on the insurance and everything.
you know, with the jail and
Right.
stuff.
Yes. Well,
Remind
we've
me
had
again,
some
we
stuff
need to get-
happen in the last couple of months that have kind of thrown us out of whack, but Ryan, we will get there, okay?
That's fine.
I just want to let you, thanks to Carl. Augie, we need a demand check, while I'm thinking about it, made out for the court improvement fund from the general fund. That's $36,000, because I see we made a payment of 30-some thousand, so we need to transfer that in. Right now, there's a negative $31,000 in that account, and that will get us back where we need to be, okay? Anyway, anything else?
Jeff, I just thought of something, you're talking financials. The
What?
auditors are gonna be on site next week.
What days?
They just said next week,
Okay, I'll check with Josh,
yeah,
another Josh.
the other Josh.
Okay,
Yeah, just FYI.
all right,
So I think
thank
we're getting
you.
close.
Now, when they come, are they going to every office or just certain offices? I know in the past, the sheriff was very concerned about them not spending some time down there. And we need to make sure they, when they are in town, they come and talk to the sheriff and the Vicky and sit down with them and just, that was important. He made a big issue of that. So
Okay.
make sure that they do come down there.
I know
They may have to come to they usually set up shop in a conference room, like at the old annex. So and remember, the audit they're doing for the sheriff's department is being done by Ben now.
Well, not for the whole sheriff's
No.
department, just the commissary,
Yeah,
right.
right.
And has he come down yet?
He's been down, he's got some papers from Vicky, and
Okay.
he's got the ball rolling a
All
little
right,
bit.
good.
Because I think my DOC audit's coming up next month, I believe. So as long as it's done by next month, we shouldn't have any issues on that.
Good.
We'll make sure that Vicky and Jeff are aware so they can talk one way or the other.
Is there a specific date?
No.
Or
I'm not,
just-
I honestly
Okay.
don't know for sure. I do know we've reserved the conference room at the government center next week
Okay,
for the
just make
auditors.
sure the sheriff and Vicky knows that they're gonna be in town next week. That somehow we need to coordinate so they see each other.
Yeah, they were looking at coming this week, and I think some of us were really tied up this week.
Mhm.
So they just said, well, we'll just make it next week, we'll get back to you. So that's all I know. If I find out, I'll put an email out to everybody.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Hearing nothing else to come before the meeting, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Russ, Andy? Russ moves, Andy seconds. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, nay. We are adjourned.